past, toast to memory, call to mind again.
Hello, I'm Helen from Journal with Purpose and welcome to my latest YouTube video. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about using different font or lettering styles in your journal. And this month on Patreon has actually been our creative challenge to focus on for the month. So I've been using an A6 Stalogy gridded notebook, and this is the one that I use when I'm focusing on different challenges. So we've got all sorts of different ones that we've tried in the past. And I'd found that my lettering was getting quite samey in my journals. I have a specific style that I'm really comfortable in and I come back to and use again and again. So that was the point of this challenge, was to try out some different styles and create kind of a little reference library for ourselves that we can then use in our journals. And for inspiration, I did a few different things. In my first book, Journal with Purpose, it's got lots of doodles and things in here for your journals, but also towards the end, I included a few different lettering styles. So I had that by my desk ready to look at if I wanted some fresh ideas. I also looked at other people's journal pages. I looked at fonts in logos, leaflets, things like that. And I set up a Pinterest board full of lots of different lettering styles that I wanted to try out. And I've done these using Sakura Pigma Micron pens for the outline because I know they won't smudge. And for the colours, I've used brush pens. I did consider using watercolour, but it was just easy to grab my brush pens. And I really love the variety that you get when you start to look at how other people are using different fonts and lettering styles. And I just think it really adds something different to your journal pages. So this is kind of, as I said, my reference library that I want to be able to come back to time and time again. And I just picked a word or a phrase or something from each day, just so I had something new to keep trying out. And I played around with different colour palettes as well. I absolutely love the flourishes on these. And just about all of them I did in pencil first, just to get a feeling for the spacing between my letters and the actual structure if I wanted to use more than one word. And I really like this as well with the different coloured stripes in the background. And this Stalogy notebook is such a lovely little size, A6, just to have with me so that anytime I see something I can just jot it down in here, perhaps in pencil first, and then come back to it later, usually in the evening when I've got a bit of time to play around with how I want to use it. And we hadn't been doing creative challenges on Patreon for a while, but it was actually a request to bring them back. So we thought January would be a nice time to start. And so it's just a lovely way of being able to bring fresh ideas into your journal or other art projects. This one I really liked, those dainty little flowers breaking up the letters. And by trying out styles that are different for me, it's definitely given me a feel for which ones I most enjoyed creating and which ones I'll be likely to use again and again. And I love these. They're a little bit more time consuming, but still really fun options. I'm thinking particularly for headings or quotes on journal pages. I wouldn't want to do a whole page in this type of lettering. And it's just then looking also at different formations of some of these letters. So I think we just get so set in our ways in the way we letter things, write things. And it's just nice to be able to have something that will stand out on our pages. And this one really appealed to me because it's only in black pen, but just having those little leaves and the nodules I thought was really lovely. So that's the end of the Stalogy, the entries that I've added so far. And by February, we'll be focusing on a different topic. But this is where I've started then bringing it into my other journals. So I've used this as the headings in my Hobonichi for each day of the week, and it just gave me another chance really to practice out those lettering styles. And then I tried to tie in the decorations on my page with some of the colours that I've used in my headings. And just say, so fun, and I really feel it's added something different to my Hobonichi, because I pretty much always did my normal standard form of lettering on those. And I've also started bringing it into some of my creative journal pages as well. So this is kind of my regular style, and I still use it a lot. I use just a black brush pen for that. You can see it's there again. But this is where I've also started bringing it in for some of the bigger headings on my page, and just being able to look back through that little book, find something which I think feels right for those pages. It's just been really fun to do. And there for my well-being, again, I've used that to separate the whole pages there, and it just kind of changed the structure of how those journal pages would have been otherwise. And this is my current gratitude page, and so I've put that as the header on there as well. So if you're at all like me and you find that you tend to use the same lettering style over and over again, I definitely encourage you to look for some other styles that you could use just to bring something fresh to your pages. This is how my gratitude pages have looked previously, and say I just love the fact that there's something a bit different there now. I really hope you've enjoyed seeing that, and it perhaps gives you some ideas, a little bit of encouragement to try out something different. I think even if you just tried out a new one a week, that would be a really lovely way of just adding something extra to your journal. Well, as always, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's joined me over on Patreon. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing really well, and I look forward to speaking with you really soon in my next video.
Gather wood, light the fire, hypnotized by blue and amber flame. Pour the wine, raise a glass, toast a memory, call to